Welcome to Takshisala Gurukul channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe immediately, press the bell button and write your comments and feedback. Share with your friends as much as possible. We provide online Kundalini Raja Yoga initiation and Kundali activation in 6 months. The Chief Officer Lakshmana Sambasiva conveyed the full meaning of the teaching to Shanmukha. The first Chief Officer Lakshmana Parasiva conveyed the true teaching to Shanmukha in such a way that it became ingrained in his mind. The feeling that the heart of those who are seeking salvation cannot be filled with the Guru's teaching unless it is ingrained in the wealth of the Chief Officer. Although this book is called by 3 names, Jnana Sindhu, Vijnana Sindhu, Sugnana Sindhu, there is no other route for the great soul who has known the truth. What else is there to be in the truth? The fruit of listening to the knowledge of the scriptures is, silence is the end. The Guru should graciously tell this, Jnana Sindhu, to the devotee of the Guru, to the one who is devoted to the truth, to the one who says that birth and death are enough for him, enough, and to the one who is eager to know Brahman and to stand in that truth. That is, the one with these virtues is the one who is competent to understand Vedanta. Your teachings may be beneficial to those who listen to them. But we were not benefited by you. After listening to your scriptures, our grandfather got fever, the buffalo would not give milk. After listening to your words, our life got worse, madness is Vedanta. It is not true, this wisdom should not be told to those who like things. Shanmukha's previous story, in order to kill Tarakasura, Shanmukha, born from the semen of Parashiva, killed Tarakasura on the 7th night after his birth, according to the prayers of the 7 sages, Kashyap, Atri, Bharadwaja, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni and Vashishta, and the gods. Pleased with this heroic deed, the 7 sages offered prayers to Shanmukha, tied a Yabhopavita and he was sent to observe the vow of celibacy. Then Shanmukha crossed the Saptindus, visited many places of pilgrimage and came to the place of Pampa. He sat on the banks of the Tungabhadra river flowing there, offering evening prayers. Then, in love with his son, Parvati came there. He let go of his son's hand and threw himself at the feet of his father Shiva, stood up humbly and bowed down to Parashiva again. Then Shiva happily lifted the boy up with his 10 shoulders and hugged him. The merciful God placed Sukumar on his lap and asked him with a smile, Sukumar, how did you kill Tarakasura when you were still a cow? After that, what great holy places and sage ashrams did you see? Have you experienced their glory? He asked. Shanmukha folded his hands and told Parashiva about the killing of Tarakasura and the pious events he had witnessed in the holy places. Parashiva, the enemy of lust, heard what the boy had said and was happy. After many days had passed in this way, Shanmukha, the son of Nilakanta, one day folded his hands and asked Maheshwara, explanation of the question, Father, who am I? What is mine? What is my name? If my name is me, then there must be many people with my name. Today this doubt has filled my mind. It is not possible for you or any other sage to resolve this. Shiva's answer, hearing the boy's words, Shasimoli smiled and said, Son, it is ridiculous to ask about himself who I am. What is the answer to this question, how much? There is a supreme being that is eternally present outside the world. It manifests itself as various beings and innumerable Brahma Vishnu deities. In short, it is the same I, the same you, the same Brahman. If you ask, how is that, it is impossible to show that supreme Brahman. He is the self-luminous, manifesting himself in his own light. The great souls who know Brahman, Brahma Vida, are Brahman itself. 10. O God, how can I know that? When the boy asked again, Mrigapani said, My dear child, there are wise people in the world. Take refuge in them and serve them. Like a piece of polished iron, the intellect devoted to the service of the Guru will give up its preconceptions and will decay and wear away. Then the full light beyond the intellect will appear in the lotus of your heart, which is Brahman. Contents of the Grahastha content. My son, first I will tell you the characteristics of authority. Then, in order, the characteristics of dispassion, the Guru's gaze, the determination of the doctrine, the unity of the soul, the unity of the Supreme Soul, the knowledge of truth, the real enlightenment, the non-attachment, the 4 instruments, the 7 bases, the meditation of the ears, the meditation of the mind, the Hatha Raja Yoga, the lay yoga, the devotional yoga, the characteristics of the yoga, the mind consciousness, the samadhi, the devotion to Brahma, the yoga of the blissful, the renunciation of good deeds, the characteristics of the saints, the Raja Yoga, the 10 sattvic elements, the characteristics of the natural men, the characteristics of peace, the 3 qualities, births, the 3 lives, the 4 qualities of the life severe Shiva, the inexhaustibility of desires, the description of the form of the Supreme Brahman, the characteristics of the Sadguru disciple, the natural Samadhi, the description of the certain words, the state of liberation from life, the description of the non-attachable objects, the yoga of the Sannyasa, the Avadhuta. History, the war of delusion, the determination of the form of the universe, the determination of vision, worship, duality, spirituality, the knowledge of happiness and the destruction of scriptures, these are the things I will tell you in this book. 18. The characteristic of the authority. Swayambhu said, "You are the authority to understand the principle of, I am. If you understand the secret of the things that are said for you, you will become the blissful one." It is not appropriate to tell this to an unauthoritative person. Because the seed will bear fruit only if it is sown in cultivated land, how will it grow if it is sown in sandy land or in a forest? Therefore, he who has left the crowd and is in solitude and is always thinking, what will happen to me with the grace of the Guru? How can I get eternal happiness? Is the authority for this Vedanta. He listens to the words of the learned and associates with the well-bred, i.e., those who are destined for salvation. He will overcome the defilements of his mind, endure the austerity of bravery, and will not eat the fruits of his past deeds without eating them, and will also know that the desire of the sati is natural and painful. He who is thus is considered the authority of this book. 21. He rejoices that if people come to him, let them come to him more. He does not hesitate to wash off the dirt that has settled on his hands and feet, but wants to attain the good path without delay. He is not aware of his own body. Do not think that such a person is a fool. He vows to the living today that his parents, who do not know how to break ties, may die. Because today they will come in the way of my good fortune and will not let me walk on the path of the Guru. The one who asks like this is not a fool. He thinks that he is a pure-minded ruler. If he has more than enough house and wealth, he will give it away. He will never be angry with anyone and will be at peace, and he will think in his mind whether the service of great men will be for him. He will restrain himself from hunger and thirst. He will not speak false words. If the body becomes weak or poverty comes, he will not be angry in his mind. He will not desire things, he will appear like a child, he will not differentiate between pleasure and filth, he will listen to worldly words. He will think in his mind about that. He will be annoyed with the world saying, burn, burn, burn birth. He will endure penance, and, determined not to have this barren life again, he will search for great ones who can show his origin. This is the one who is the master of the principle. 26. Characteristics of a disciple. He never speaks a word of sin that is unpleasant. He never takes a violent path. Even if his parents beat him, he will not leave the path of the Guru that is pleasant to him. He will not get tired if his body gets sick. He will fix his mind on Eknath and ask, why did you give me a happy mind in this miserable world? He will be troubled that he will go to the company of this body, and will go to those who know how to listen to the true word, mantra. He will remain silent in the presence of evil thoughts, and will serve the good with great joy. He will roam in the courtyard of the house of the truthful. He will abandon the shame of the body and become devoted to the service of the devotees for the sake of purifying his mind. A disciple who has decided that the Guru's house is his home will not be bored with the Guru's work. He will not respond to what the Guru says. He will not be bored even if his hands, feet, and hands hurt. Even if he is told to do difficult work, he will do it anyway. There is no fear in his mind. There is no eagerness for the action that others expect. He has no fear of death. The smell of the body and the smell of the world will be diminished in him. There is no caste pride. The disciple who has left the path of righteousness and is on the holy path, and who yearns, Guru, what is my fortune? Your grace is upon me. How can I enjoy the practice of yoga? How can I attain salvation? Is considered a mumukshu. He who has a strong desire for salvation is considered an officer of the scripture study. 33. Characteristics of an unauthorized officer. This paratatva is not suitable for the officers mentioned above, but for others. The principles mentioned in the heading of the Nigams should never be told to the quarrelsome ones who say that if there is a quarrel, it is enough, and to the Vishyandha, who wander around thinking that there is happiness in the family that causes sorrow and in the satisutes. Listen, O cave, is it pleasant to tell this principle of knowledge to the foolish fools who, having tasted the unholy nectar of the auspicious ones adorned with the fragrance of sandalwood, musk and flowers, have lost their power of Trinity? Is this nectar of knowledge pleasant to the lowly men who, having raised their heads and adorned themselves with ornaments like sandalwood, garlands and garlands, spend their time in the streets and in the company of the courtiers, talking idle words. If the lowly men, who are thinking in their minds that they have first seduced another wife, and who are consumed with interest in the things they have seen and have not found happiness, hear this principle of knowledge, it will be as if they were covered with ashes. Listen, O son, this principle of knowledge should not be told to those who, when they see good men, become suspicious, and who, boasting that they have no experience, slander great souls with their own wine. Why musk for a donkey? Why material ornaments for a monkey? Why good words that bring health to those who are always sad due to the body and mind? What is the benefit of a yogi seeing the hands of others due to the loss of money? Similarly, what is the benefit if this principle of knowledge is explained to a fool? Why is the seniority of the house important? Why is the saddle, for a horse, high? Why is the body proud of a dead man? Where is the greater devotion to his father for an adopted son? Similarly, this principle of knowledge is not good for fools. 40. Son, I will tell you again, listen, why is the shovel used to till the soil? Why is the boat, that floats on the water, covered with a veil? Why is the melody of the voice in the lute used for a room? What is the benefit of medicines for one who is weak due to old age? What is the benefit of a mirror to a blind man? Similarly, this principle of the wise, which benefits the soul to a fool, is not applicable to a prostitute, a hen, a cat that eats mice, a cat that eats rats, a monkey, a living soul, a slander on the forehead of a wicked person, a blanket for a paper, a crowd for a googly, a dog, a song, a dance for a lonely person, the goddess Lakshmi for a jogger, ghee for a sick person on Holi, and the anointing of ashes with milk to make it clean. All the things mentioned here are false plans. Even if you give advice to the foolish, they will suddenly become attached to the subject. O son, just as one tries to turn a goat into a horse by feeding it with speech, so even if one tries to teach the true path of Brahman to brain thieves, who steal other people's wealth, they will not understand it, and the teacher's efforts will be in vain. If a monkey is immersed in water and raised up, can it become a double? If women are performed the Upanayana rituals, can they become men? Similarly, if this Vedanta message is conveyed to the weak, can they leave the company of the world and become pure? Ask, O son, why is there supreme peace for a sinner? Why is there kindness and generosity for those who are angry? What is the welfare of those who curse others? Why is there a lamp for adulterers and thieves? Why is there a Bhasipa Atma Tattva for those who suffer in the pit of sinful world? Why does the frog bathe regularly? Why does the snake lie down in a cave so that it does not become weak? Why does the stork sit on the bank of the water in meditation? Why does the donkey get ashes for all to see? Why does the bear grow hair all over its body? Why does the monkey become a Digambar? Can all these animals attain liberation without knowledge? Even if one is dirty by caste, if he attains self-knowledge, he is called a Brahman. If a Brahman does not have knowledge, he is a pure and dirty person. If one knows who he is, even if he is of a low caste, know that he is the Supreme Being. One should not teach this principle to a Chola who hides his wife's faults and tells others about his wife's conduct, leaving the food prepared by his mother and bringing buffalo dung and eating it, and saying, the sour and sour dish is delicious. Having heard this, O Kuvara, I have explained to you the power of the knowledge of Vedanta. Hearing this, the Kumara was delighted and remembered the lotus feet of Shiva in his mind. Leaving the illusion in his mind, he concentrated his mind on the memory of the Guru, the Supreme Being. 54.